Fox News alert. We've got high drama tonight in Pennsylvania, where the polls are about to close in about 11 minutes this evening. And the battle is in the 18th congressional district in western Pennsylvania. A look now at the campaign headquarters for Republican Rick Saccone. Looks kind of quiet as they get ready to wrap up. As we said, the polls are going to close at 8 o'clock. And then Democrat Colonel Lamb is on the right-hand side. He's in South Point, Pennsylvania, or he will be. So this contest has been flush with money that is poured in from the outside. Very expensive race. Both parties view the result as, in some respects, a referendum on President Trump and his success up to this point, and a preview of what we may see when we get rolling in the November midterm. So the season has essentially begun. Let's bring in our panel. Larry Sabato is director of the University of Virginia's Center for Politics. Mark Thiessen is an American Enterprise Institute scholar and a Fox News contributor. And Mo Alethi is executive director of Georgetown University's Institute of Politics and Public Service. Gentlemen, welcome. Good to have all of you here. So this is a race in a district, Larry, that won't exist the next time around, right?
Yes, won't even exist. As you noted, spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to win essentially a one-year term. But it's symbolic. It's a special election in a district that was heavily pro-Trump, plus 20% pro-Trump in 2016, where the Democrat has a real shot to win. That's not to say he's the favorite. It's simply to say he has a shot to win. And the last turnover we had in any House special election was 24 elections ago, back in November of 2012. So it doesn't happen very often in this heavily gerrymandered age that you have a turnover. Yeah.
Mark, when you look at the breakdown in this district of Republicans to Democrats, there are slightly fewer Republicans, and there are enough who don't belong to either party that you could swing this race. So obviously, it's going to come down, as it often does, to people who are in that, who are not necessarily deeply aligned with a party, right?
Absolutely, and it's a conservative district, but I agree completely with Larry that Conor Lamb has got a chance to win. But the reason he's got a chance to win is because he's a political unicorn. He's a pro-life, pro-gun, pro-fracking, anti-Pelosi Democrat, which means he's basically, to voters, a Republican. Right. And this is not something that if Democrats were to replicate this all over the country and put up a bunch of pro-life, pro-gun, pro-fracking Democrats in middle America, they'd win a lot of elections. But they're not going to do that. And you can see that in the case of in Illinois recently, where the DNC refused to endorse a 7-term incumbent Democratic congressman named Dan Lipinski for the simple reason that he's pro-life. The head of the DNC recently said that would refuse to say whether pro-life Democrats were welcome in his party. So if Democrats wanted to replicate this, I'd be worried, but they're not.
So Mo, there's not a lot of room in your party for a lot more Conor Lambs, it sounds like.
There is a lot of room in the Democratic Party for a lot of different people who are running against Donald Trump. Look, I mean, Donald Trump's the reason why this race has become as competitive as it is. He won the district by 20 points, but we have seen in every special election since the 2016 election, Democrats overperforming. Even in those districts where they are falling short, the energy is behind the Democratic candidates, and they are doing better than they ever have in these districts. The place to watch here tonight are the suburbs, the Pittsburgh suburbs. That's where a lot of congressional races are going to be fought over the course of the next year. And how the Republican does in those districts where polling is showing Donald Trump hemorrhaging support. If in the suburbs he gets shellacked, then that is a huge red flag for the Republican Party heading into the midterms.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the whole state, look at the Philadelphia area and the suburbs are going to be very important as we move forward in the course of these midterms. Larry, when you look at this, also you got to talk about candidate quality, and you think about Alabama and what happened, and Doug Jones was the victor over Roy Moore there, and now you've got this candidate who, according to some reports, the president himself has said is pretty lackluster, although he cheered him on the other night when he was there.
Yeah, it's beware your friends. Your enemies, you know what to expect from. It's your friends that'll get you. And look, party is central. There's no question about that. But we forget candidate quality really does matter. And the point that Mark made should be underlined. Regardless of whether Conor Lamb wins or not, he's going to be highly competitive in a district that shouldn't even have been close. Right. Why? He's a really good candidate, and he has some moderate views, and he made it clear he doesn't embrace Nancy Pelosi. You know, hello, Democratic Party, when you have suburban districts that are red or purple, this is the kind of candidate that you really ought to put up, assuming you actually want to win a majority.
And you know, and Mark, to underline your point, as Larry rightly suggests, you know, moving forward, Tom Perez has suggested that he doesn't want any more of these kind of candidates.
No, it's exactly right. This is exactly the kind of candidate Democrats should be trying to run in states that Trump won by, in some cases, by double digits. If they want to win back Middle America, instead they're focused on being the resistance and getting the coasts. But also, this candidate, the Republican candidate, isn't just bad; he's offensive. He said Democrats hate America and hate God. It's hard to, if you lose to somebody like that.
I got to get Mo in. Mo, I got 10 seconds.
Yeah, look, I think what you're seeing here is Democrats nominating a candidate who fits their district, and Republicans nominating a candidate who fits the Trump White House. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Let's see. We're going to watch. It's very tight, so we don't know what's going to happen. Stick around. Quick break. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be right back.